everybody, it's Safi and Marco. Dish out on the movies. Today we are reviewing episode 6, Requiem, of Daredevil Born Again.
What season, Safi?
Season 2.
Okay, let's just start off with the fact that I think it's time for you to confront, Safi, that this episode sucked.
Really?
Okay?
Why?
Are you ready to confront that?
No.
I don't know. It's bad. The characters are bad. The story's bad. Just everything is bad.
Well, I don't know what the story is. It's kind of weak. I mean, it's just like, well, it's actually probably going to be summed up in, 3 sentences or 5?
Well,
the whole season.
To me, I think that the big issue is the fact that they don't have enough episodes. They have too many characters. They have too many different stories. And it's sad because when there are cool moments and cool things that happen here and there, they don't really feel well done because they don't feel earned. In a good TV show, like The Mentalist, at least seasons 1 through 3, in that show, they have 20-something episodes, and they have these big episodes that happen here and there, and they feel earned and they feel built up to. And that's how it's supposed to be. That's what a TV show is. Daredevil Born Again and all these modern shows, they can't earn anything or build up to anything because they don't have enough episodes and they don't have enough time. And besides that, I don't think the show's very good. I think that the writers don't know what they're doing. I don't think the writers know the characters, and I think the show's trash. So, and I know that's a big change from last episode, which I liked, but last episode was different because they slowed down, and it was very character driven. And they showed a lot from the past. They showed a lot of Foggy. And now we're back to, number 1, not having any Foggy on the show, which is a huge disaster. And then number 2, it's so ugly. It's such an ugly show to look at. They have this ugly color grading, and it looks horrible. So.
Well, I can't speak to color grading. I think,
really?
I'm trying to think. It seems like half of the episode was shot at night. What they did was they were protesting and it was day, but then it became night.
Wow.
And it seems like everything was night. So if you're talking about it was just dark.
No, Safi, that's not what color grading
see, that's
means.
what I'm saying. I'm not even going to try then.
Really? Okay, well, Safi, why don't you just think about all the other modern movies and TV shows that come out?
Well, it's been dull.
How ugly they look.
Dull and brown and beige.
Dull and ugly. And that's what the show looks like for some reason, even though the Netflix show looked great, and they know how to make it look like the Netflix show, and they're choosing not to do that. I mean, I have never seen this before. This is why I'm so glad that they made Twin Peaks Season 3, at least. Because they made it like the old show, kind of. They made things like the old show. They didn't, turn it into some modern thing. They made it in the style of the old show. A lot of these modern reboots and sequels and remakes, they fail because they don't recapture the old show or movie. I mean, how simple would it be to just say, hey, I know that everything else looks horrible and ugly because they have these emo editors in Hollywood who suck. They ruin everything. But, but can we just have this one show look like an actual show? Can we just have Daredevil Born Again look like an actual show, please? Can we just please have a show that people would actually want to look at, you know, that would be really nice. What do you think of that, Safi?
Well,
they could do it for like one show.
They really, I mean, in this show, this episode, they went through a ton of characters.
I know.
I mean, they went bing, 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 boom. It's like
it's like Fallout.
It was kind of like that ping pong game. Remember that ping pong game with the paddles?
Air hockey?
No, it was one of the like earliest phone computer games. It was called Pong.
Oh.
And just every time the paddle hit the ball, it was a new character. Well, not a new character, but a different character. But they did. I was so shocked. You know, I have never watched Jessica. Is it Jessica Jones?
Yeah.
I've never watched that show, and she shows up.
It's a terrible show.
What happened was, they show this woman. They never show her face. She had dark hair, and I thought, oh, maybe that's BB. I don't know anything about BB's life, or that's another character that's, you know, like.
Yeah, the daughter actually looks a lot like BB.
Yeah,
she doesn't even look like Jessica or Luke Cage. So
she saw the woman. They kind of showed the back of her. She had a kid, and she lived in a very nice house with a beautiful, you know, doorways, glass doorways that led outside, like to a porch, like sliding glass doors. Only there was multiple, and she saw these men sneaking around. So she went out there to confront them, and her little girl was sitting there. And something happened. This thing flew into the window, and it looked like a flashlight, and I thought it was like a grenade. And then all of a sudden, she comes up to the little girl, and she's dispatched all the men who were there, and there were multiple, like maybe 3 or 4. And she says, "That's not a toy." And I don't know what it was. Maybe Marco knows what it was.
I don't even care.
But then she shows up later. Marco talks about fan service sometimes when he's talking about that shows. Like they'll do something for the fans. So she shows. She I guess she asked to meet Daredevil. They don't show that, or maybe they did, and I just didn't see it because I don't know.
She literally just shows up.
So yeah, okay. So she said when they interacted at first, he said something about her contacting him,
and then she disappeared.
And then she says, "I'm going to go," and they're right up in front of the warehouse with all the weapons.
Very conveniently, like a video game. It's like a video game.
And the ICE, I'm just calling them ICE because they're really exactly like them. ICE is moving the weapons or into the more weapons into the building, the warehouse. And she says, "You want to have some fun?" And so she and Daredevil go in there, and I've never seen her fight or anything. I've just never seen any. I saw her in another show, Apartment 3D or something, like way before
the bitch in Apartment 3D.
Yeah, or something, whatever it was, and it was fun. I liked the show, but
okay.
Anyway,
since you started with Jessica, I mean, you're not even a fan. You're not even a fan of Jessica.
No, I'm not.
And you started off with her.
I just thought
like, oh yeah, there's Jessica. She shows up.
Well, it's just evidence when Marco says they do these things for fans. That I think that was something they did for fans.
Jessica? Well, so anyways, back to the show. Jessica also reveals that she's now married to Luke Cage.
Oh, is she?
And she also basically implies that Luke Cage is working for Mr. Charles or something. She says that Mr. Charles is interested in superheroes and people like her. And something about maybe Luke Cage is with him. And so, all of that sounds terrible. I hate it. I don't like it. I don't want it on the show. And, you know, Jessica Jones, she's a trash character. I mean, in her original show, she wouldn't even wear her actual costume. Like, she's wearing this stupid
black leather coat,
punk outfit. And I hate it. I hate it so bad. I don't want to see her character. You know, I don't even care, honestly. Like, this is Daredevil. I don't want to see Jessica Jones. I just want to see Daredevil. And I know that sounds mean, but, like, I really don't care. That's just, I mean, I'm just, because at this point, I'm no longer in the, oh my god, I'm such a fan of this show. I'm so excited. I'm in the mode of, like, okay, I'm a reviewer who has to watch and review this show. And so I'm just going to be completely honest about what I like and don't like. And, you know, there's lots of people who are fans of Jessica Jones. And I'm not one of them. You know, in her show, this is how bad her show was, Safi. Okay, so her original show, she's the main character, obviously, because it's called Jessica Jones. Mm. The bad guy is the greatest character in the entire Marvel universe. And he is played by David Tennant.
No.
And he is a guy who can read people's minds and mind control anyone. Oh. And so he mind controls Jessica into letting him rape her. And so that's what makes her into this bitter investigator, this private investigator with this punk outfit. So that's why she doesn't wear her costume, is because he raped her in her costume. And so he haunts her. But it's funny because even though all that sounds horrible, he is literally the only good thing about her entire show. I mean, her entire show. There's this whole lesbian subplot in the first season that's cringeworthy. There's this other stupid shit that happens. She hooks up with Luke Cage. Literally nothing about Jessica Jones was good except for that guy who's the bad guy. And they ruined it because they kill him at the end of the season, and it's really stupid.
He's a good actor too.
And they wasted him. He's literally the best thing about the entire show. And so that's how bad her character is that even though she's a rape victim, even though she's supposed to be like this cool punk character, she is literally not even the best part of her own show. What do you think of that, Safi?
Whatever. I didn't watch the show, so...
Well, I mean, just how cool is that you have a character who mind controls people?
That is cool.
He is the greatest bad guy.
How do you fight that, too? And how do you know what's happening?
I think what she ends up doing is, like, she just puts on headphones, and that somehow blocks him from...
she must have to play something.
It's really dumb. It's really stupid. But the finale for that sucked, too. But anyways... that's just a little side note just to explain to people my position on Jessica Jones. I despise her character.
Okay.
So she shows up and reveals all that. So I guess Mr. Charles, played by Matthew Lillard,
okay.
He is such a waste of space in the show.
I'm calling it the Matthew Lillard watch.
Yeah.
I mean, I think he showed up twice. 2 or 3 times.
It's like instead of Where's Waldo, it's Where's Matthew Lillard.
Really? Yeah.
and so, but getting back to this, because I want to talk about that later, because that's a whole different thing.
Yeah.
Her and Daredevil go inside the place where they're going to ship the guns out because Matthew Lillard is pissed off. And they have this stupid little fight scene. It's not a very good fight scene at all. And then the Officer Powell, who's like the main ICE agent, who, you know, we just can't wait for him to go. Because he's been the biggest piece of shit the whole show.
You know, I can't think of anybody who's comparable to him. Well, no, wait, that's not true. The person who killed Renee Good is probably comparable to him. He's really pretty incomparable. Character in the worst way.
And so he almost kills Jessica Jones, and then he just gets knocked out and they leave him. And that moment was really, really dumb because Jessica Jones, she gets like knocked to the floor and she can't do anything. And she also reveals that she has been losing her powers ever since she gave birth to her daughter.
She had powers?
Yeah, she has powers. She can jump and fly or something, and she can do all sorts of shit. You saw that on the show.
No, well, I saw where she tried to hit him, and she was shocked it didn't even affect him.
Yeah, she's losing her powers because she had a kid, which is really, really weird.
Interesting.
I don't think that's good at all. I mean, that just makes her even more trash. I mean, the whole appeal to her character should be that she's this badass girl who's like a punk, but she also has powers.
Oh, but that's interesting. That's I've read about stuff like that or seen.
What do you mean?
Probably where they had the same kind of thing written for another character in another book.
It's really dumb.
I think I've seen that. Yeah.
It's really, really dumb. And so after this fight scene, I guess they knock everyone out. I guess that's going to stop them from waking up and shipping the guns out.
Well, they blew up the place.
And they blew it up. But how did the ICE agents survive?
Well, that's a really good question, because Mr. Meany, which is a very nice thing to call him, he's in the last scene, and he's there. And in fact, we'll talk about what he does. He does something very bad, but it's not surprising because of the kind of character he is.
Well, so. I just didn't like that whole sequence. It felt like a video game. It felt like something out of a Daredevil PS2 video game. So
well, I just thought it was for fans.
Yeah, it was definitely for fans.
Won't see her for the rest of the series.
No, you will
this year.
You will.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we should really start with what happens at the beginning. What do you think's going to happen? And I'm really shocked. I don't know why they did this, and it's almost like a cliche, because the doctor comes in. Kingpin's wife has died.
Yeah.
And he says all this peaceful. Doctors, I've heard, because I have another son who's a nurse, but I've heard this from other nurses besides him. Usually they're the ones that have to deal with people when something bad happens.
The dialogue that they wrote for him, though, is some of the most cringiest dialogue ever.
So, but the doctor in this case, he decided to, I guess because he was the mayor, decided to be, quote, comforting.
He said that your wife is going to the beautiful darkness that we all have to go to. Like, that's really weird.
And for some, I don't get so this is the whole thing. I didn't get it because, my God, the mayor is volatile, and he could kill anybody with his brute strength. And
he gives him a bear hug, and he hugs him to death.
Yeah, the doctor tries to give him a nice hug, and he kills him.
I wonder what would happen if...
And it's like, totally not surprised. And why would he do that? He would still be alive. He's a doctor, a valuable doctor that they need. He's dead now.
Well, Safi, I wonder what would happen if Trump gave Kingpin a hug, since...
Oh, he's weak. But Kingpin would wipe him on the floor, wipe the floor with him. My God.
But Trump said he's a doctor.
Yeah. No.
So what would Kingpin do?
No. This is what happened. Lion Lips Levitt said...
What would Kingpin do?
The picture has been doctored.
No.
So...
He said he's a doctor.
Diminishing brain.
So what would Kingpin do?
Thinks that it is took that word from that part and said, "Oh, I was a doctor, and because he was wearing a red robe, and I was working with the Red Cross because it was a red robe, and the picture was doctored, but he took that word because he has a melted brain."
Well, so anyways, I wanted to also point out something that literally no one is talking about, and something that Safi said last week, which is we were all wondering, how did Vanessa die? How did she die? Was it the pineapple juice? Was she allergic? Was she already gonna die? Did she have something in her brain, like brain bleed or some bullshit? They never explain it. They never say how she died. They just said, fuck you to the audience. And see, this is what I'm saying. If you think this show is legitimately good, you're lying to yourself.
This part, I mean, I've seen that, I've seen a few doctor shows. And they were so graphic. That one with the autistic boy, doctor, young man. I couldn't watch it. And then there was another one that was.
Sophie, don't do that.
But anyway, but you look at her. She's dead. It doesn't even look like she was injured.
Yeah.
She has kind of a one wrap thing around her head.
And that's it.
I mean, she doesn't. You look at her hand. You can see her hands and her arms. It doesn't look like she has a scratch on her.
And they never say how she died.
Oh.
Ever.
Oh.
And Kingpin doesn't even ask. You know why? Because the writers thought that they were going to put the sticks all the way up there, you-know-what's, today. And they were like, hey, you know what would be a really interesting concept? What if Kingpin didn't talk the entire episode because the only person he wanted to talk to was Daredevil?
Because that's basically what happened.
Because he doesn't talk to anyone or anything the entire episode until Daredevil shows up at his place or wherever that was. And so
that was in
the town hall.
Town hall.
But the thing is, though, the least that these fucking shitty writers could have done is explain how Vanessa died. It's really not that fucking hard. When you have the doctor come in the fucking room, he can say, Vanessa died because blah, 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 blah. And then he can go into his speech. But no, the writers can't even do that. The writers are so lazy. And see, this is what... I used to think this show could have been good. In season 1, I was like, you know what? The new team has taken over. They know what they're doing. And it turns out the new team is so retarded that they break new boundaries for how bad you could be as a writer. I mean, how stupid do you have to be to not just mention, hey, Vanessa died because of this or that? That's all they had to do.
But no, they went right after he murdered the doctor, and then Buck goes in to clean up all the evidence.
They go straight to the funeral.
And
that's horrible storytelling.
He doesn't even talk at the funeral, right?
Yeah, he literally, he gets up, and by the way, another thing they did because they thought they're so cute and clever is that he's the only one at the funeral wearing a white suit.
Yeah.
Everyone else wears black. And you know why that's so stupid? Because Kingpin doesn't just wear white suits. Like, I know that I guess he's wearing white to symbolize his love for Vanessa because of the snow painting. You know, the rabbit and the snowstorm painting. But the thing is, Kingpin doesn't always have to wear a white suit. In fact, I just played Kingpin in a Spider-Man fan film, and all I did was wear a black winter coat because I didn't know we were going to film, and which was pretty funny. And you guys will get to see that hopefully sometime soon. It's going to be really good, actually. But it's just a fan film that some college kids are making, and I thought it was a lot of fun to do because I do love the characters, and so I thought it'd be fun to play Kingpin. Safi wouldn't play Kingpin, so I had to do it. And so, what do you think of that, Safi? Because at the funeral, he goes up, he has a rose, and he walks up to her coffin, he puts the rose on, he cries, he drinks Soylent Green, and then he walks off. He walks out of the funeral. That's all he does. What do you think of all that, Safi? The white suit and all that. What do you think?
I don't care.
Isn't that weird, Safi? I mean, it's just like, I know that, like, can't we just, like, live in reality for 1 second on this show? I know that pretty much the only focus they have is making everything about Trump on the show. But for maybe like 1 other second, could they think about reality and think about maybe Kingpin could just wear a black suit in this episode? That just makes sense.
Okay, well, we better talk about Buck.
We're already 25 minutes.
I know, but you're going on and on.
Well, it's so bad.
Okay, well, anyway, Buck, remember last week at the end, Buck and, what's his name? The deputy mayor, Daniel. They bury the guy that Buck killed, the ship captain's assistant.
Daniel Blake.
And, so then, today, or in this episode, it's Daniel's birthday.
Yeah.
And he's really upset about what they did.
Kingpin doesn't even wish Daniel a happy birthday, by the way.
No, he doesn't. And Buck says, you're going to have to do something about BB. And he says, what are you talking about? He says, don't let your caring about her or whatever, I don't know the exact words, cloud your judgment. And he said, basically he told me to prove that she's doing something bad, he needs to set a trap for her, like tell her something, and then if it gets leaked, he'll know that she did it, and it won't necessarily be true.
Yeah.
And so he tells her.
He takes her to his mom's house, and this is where it gets interesting because they decided to finally go the route that I would have gone like last season, which is that now BB's actually starting to like Daniel.
Yeah.
Because she met his mom. And
she went in his room and...
Yeah, she looked at his childhood stuff. And
she, for some reason, she really liked it and was very appreciative of it. And he had told her that the mayor was not going to run again.
Yeah.
And so that was the trap thing.
Yeah.
And I think that's going to be true because of something that Marco said before we even watched the episode today, something he heard.
No, it's something that I saw.
Or something he saw. So, I mean, but it really, he has not, like we said, he didn't talk to anybody. He didn't talk to anybody but Daredevil. But then something else happened, and Marco will bring it up with, where's Waldo? Only it's where's Matthew Lillard? And it has something to do with him.
Well, so number one, BB decides to not post the fake news story.
She erased it.
Because
they showed her doing that.
Suddenly she likes him now, which is hilarious because, Safi was saying for a million episodes, like, oh, Marco, they're just friends. She doesn't like him that way.
Well, she didn't. Now she does.
And then the fans have said the same thing. And it's like, well, okay, why don't the writers just change it to where she does? Because that's what would be more interesting and be better for the characters. Well, now she does. And Daniel also found, because he looked in her coat and he found a USB thing or whatever, or a...
No, it was a circular thing, though.
But he found something that would indicate that she's the mole, and he confronts her about it, and he knows that she's the mole. And because they're also, by the way, she's going to give him a kiss. They're about to kiss for the first time on the show. But for the first time, he stands up to her and he says, you really messed things up. And he says, I might not be able to protect you anymore from
him.
From Buck.
Yeah.
And I thought, oh, wow, this is actually interesting. This is what they should have done the whole time. Because now you're in a situation where Buck and BB both like Daniel. But the key here is unfortunately, BB is, so far at least, we'll have to see what happens with her because she's been a bitch the whole series so far. She is more loyal to Resistance than to Daniel. And then Buck is more loyal to Kingpin than to Daniel.
No, I think Buck is loyal to Buck. And
so
he's just advancing his self through the Kingpin.
But the point is that Daniel is between two people who like him, but they're more loyal to other people than him.
Yeah.
And so I think, unfortunately, he's probably going to be killed this season. I really hope not, because it would make me not want to watch the show anymore, to be honest. Like, when he comes on screen, like, that's when the show gets a little bit more interesting sometimes, because the actor is really good. But yeah, I think he's probably going to get killed.
I think Buck's going to get killed.
No, he's confirmed to be in season 3.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's not good.
Yeah. And so, anyway, see, and this is another thing I don't like, is that when you look at Twitter, you know, you see all these people that say these things that's like, that you wouldn't have wanted to see. Like, oh, Buck is confirmed for season 3. I don't want to know things like that. Like, when I'm watching season 2, I just want to watch the show, and, you know, like, if people get killed, they get killed. But anyways.
Okay, next would be,
God.
Remember that Daredevil and Karen have Bullseye.
So much crap.
But Karen hates Bullseye. Karen wants to kill Bullseye. And she argues with Daredevil, and he goes away and he says, vengeance isn't justice, Karen.
And that's true. And now a lot of fans have complained about that. They've complained that they're making Karen seem unreasonable, and they're making Matt look like the good guy in the situation. But he is. He literally is. I mean, that's his character. Daredevil is not going to kill people. He doesn't do that. So I don't understand why people are complaining when she also said that she's been haunted for years and years for killing Wesley in season 1 of the old show. And so why wouldn't he want to stop her from killing Bullseye and making the same mistake again? Because remember, when Wesley got killed, it just caused more problems than it actually solved anything. Like, it actually made things worse when she killed Wesley. And so, yeah, there's this whole back and forth the whole episode, and honestly, I thought all that was bad. They hardly spent any time with it. You know, I mean, this show's about Daredevil. Daredevil's hardly in the whole show. He's basically there for like 10 minutes out of like 45 minutes. So that's only like a fourth of the show that the main character is in.
Yeah.
It's like the Ghoul. It's like the Ghoul in Fallout. You know, he's only on Fallout for like a fourth of the show, even though he's like the main character.
He sure has a lot of, he's been in ads, and when they do stuff on YouTube, interviewing, they interview him more than the other characters, and he's like really popular. I think he's the most popular character on that show.
You want to speak up a bit, Safi?
Okay, well, I think that the Ghoul is the most popular character on that show.
Yeah, even though that show's trash too.
For other reasons. But anyway, we got, next is, I guess we have to talk about the psychiatrist.
Oh, and so I gotta say too, Heather's scene was so bad, I literally just straight up fast forwarded through it. I swear to God. I know I'm supposed to review the show. I don't care. I really don't care.
It didn't do anything.
So dumb.
I told Marco that in my long years of working, that I worked in a mental health clinic, and we had psychiatrists and psychologists, but anyway...
And you were their star patient.
No, I was the star secretary. But anyway, transcriber. But anyway, you're trying to help somebody. You can't be damaged. In other words, if she had PTSD, which is very understandable. She was attacked. She could have been killed by that guy, that bad guy with the mask. And so she shouldn't be practicing at all until she gets herself worked out. And it'll happen. She will. And in real life, she would. But she shouldn't even be doing anything related to helping anybody or putting somebody away, because it's a bad thing. It's not right. She's not in her right mind. So this Buck guy, which you think they might have a thing later. I don't know if he's coming back. Maybe she is. And he said, show me what you want to do or what you're thinking. And so she starts trying to strangle him slowly, and she cries.
You forgot, Safi, she also stole some of Vanessa's jewelry.
Oh, I didn't know that was Vanessa's jewelry. But anyway.
She did. She stole it.
She did. She took an earring.
2 earrings.
Well, she did take 2. I just saw one. I thought she's taking 1.
And then she strangles Buck. And now here's the thing. This was also cringeworthy, and this was something, and this is pretty bad, guys. The actress who plays Heather, God help her, because originally Buck and Heather were just supposed to kiss. That's all it was supposed to be. And the actress who plays Heather said, well, maybe we should do something other than kissing, because maybe we could show that they're going to be together some other way or something. And it's like, what the fuck? Like, just do what's in the script. You know, like that whole thing, it was so cringeworthy. I just had to fast forward through it. I thought that's really bad.
And then he says, do you feel better? And she doesn't, I don't think she responds. And then she leaves.
Yeah.
That was stupid.
Some people are suggesting that maybe she's possessed by the muse. So maybe she will become the female muse, which I think is
that would be interesting.
Really, Safi? Are you kidding me?
Why not? I don't like the way she is now.
I don't like anything in the show.
Well, let's move it on. Because Marco don't like that part anyway.
That's what you always said. You're always like, Marco, you don't like anything. I literally just said that. You didn't say anything.
Okay, well, then we have the big... and...
Mr. Charles.
You want to talk about the Matthew?
Matthew Lillard.
Where is Matthew Lillard?
He's at the governor's place, and she's
at
like,
midnight.
She's like, why are you here again? You're not supposed to be here again. And I guess he threatens her to pull support from the Kingpin. And so then Buck shows up at the town hall and tells Kingpin, the governor is going to be pulling support from you tomorrow.
Okay, so that's what he said. I didn't hear him. Okay.
And so then what happens is there's a ton of protesters outside the town hall.
It's a very organized protest.
Which I would like to say too, I didn't feel like that was earned at all. And I just feel
I don't
like
know where it came from.
I just feel like this entire season is a disaster, because it just, nothing connects, nothing makes sense together. It's just very chaotic and choppy, even though this is the new team now and the old team is gone. Well, it's very choppy. And like another thing is like, whatever happened to that whole storyline where Matt and Karen were building up a resistance and they're building up like a team? Like, I thought this whole...
It's there. It's there.
It's not.
Yeah, it is.
All the people from the... Like, all the people
you
from
saw
the
them
cages.
Put masks up on their faces.
There were a couple.
And then they...
there were a couple, Safi.
What killed me, they, like I've said, they've tried to, why, I don't know, because nobody wants to see it on TV playing with fictional stuff. You see it enough if you watch the news in real life. But they do the thing where, they protest outside, like the No Kings protest. But then they do this thing where they put
it's nothing like it.
They put these images on the building, the town hall, which is what they've been doing.
It's called a projection, Safi.
Yeah, they did that in London when Trump was there, and they have people who were in prison and they speak. They just showed the one woman we saw the aunt that had the girl, the niece that helped her, and Daredevil rescued her, and some other people. And well, they showed her, but then after that, after she spoke, then they flashed this thing about anti-whatever messages all over the building.
So back to what I was saying, I thought this whole season was going to be about Daredevil and Karen building up a resistance against the ICE agents. Because originally it was supposed to be that, like, the ICE agents were the main villains of the season, and that's what it was going to all be about. But it's not about that. It's about Daredevil versus Kingpin for, like, the millionth time. Because what I thought,
central to it.
Because what I thought it would be is that like Kingpin, he would be mayor, and they'd have to build up to him being the main villain again. Because, like, okay, he's the mayor now. You know, like, I thought that they would do something different this season, and instead they're doing what a lot of fans are saying is what's called reheated nachos, where they take something that was good yesterday, and they try to put it in the microwave and you know, make it good today, and it's not good. And I just don't understand, like, why the writers, they know that they have 8 episodes, they know that they don't have time to do anything.
They should have done what they did.
Why don't they
should have saved that for the last episode.
Yeah, why don't they sit down?
I don't understand that.
Why don't they sit down and say, this is what this season is going to be about? And why don't they try to tell a coherent storyline where all the characters and stories connect, instead of trying to do this thing where it's just like, oh, we can do whatever we want. Like, who cares if we don't explain how Wilson Fisk's wife died? Who cares if, we don't bring Foggy back, even though they were going to in season 1, apparently. And that's the other thing, too. The people who make the show, they have revealed that originally they were thinking about possibly bringing back Foggy in the 1st or 2nd season of this show, because it's a story in the comics, which I said multiple times when we reviewed season 1, and they decided not to. That's how stupid these writers are. That's how shitty they are. They suck.
It just seems like they're bringing all these, like, let's say Jessica Jones, the man Bullseye.
Yeah.
And there was something about that Punisher guy, but now they haven't shown him. It's almost like they want to taste everything.
Yeah.
But the show's Daredevil, and they're using Daredevil to bring everything in.
Yeah.
So that clogs up the story with characters like Marco's been talking about. And basically, this big protest, I mean, we have these No Kings protests.
Safi, don't talk about that.
I know that, but that is a build-up of months. So these would be a build-up. And that would make it make sense if it was the last episode. And because he just lost his wife. I don't get it. To me, that just doesn't connect. They have all those people start protesting him now when his wife was just killed.
Yeah.
It doesn't. So that's what I'm saying. I don't know what they're doing. And then, of course, the bad guy, ICE agent. I mean, he's a real bad guy. Something happened, and Karen was there with other people, and she had a wig on.
The guy. Okay, I'll just go through that.
You explain that, because I didn't get that.
The guy who ran the food truck earlier in the season that you saw for like one scene, he got killed by one of the ICE agents. They knocked him to the ground and he got killed. And so then Karen tries to come help him, and her wig gets pulled off. And then
why would that happen?
Officer Powell comes up to her and arrests her. And that's the cliffhanger of the episode, which, who cares? I mean, honestly. And I don't even care anymore, to be honest. The show sucks.
Well,
and then also the ICE agent, he figures out that who the good ice agent is, and he kills him in front of everyone.
But then he says,
I can't remember.
He says that somebody in the crowd killed him. Yeah. So that gives them one of the other senior ice agents saw him do it, and he didn't do anything. This is what has happened in real life.
Okay, Safi, don't do that.
Yeah, I know that. Why do they do that? But so anyway, all these other ICE agents, they don't know. They start attacking the crowd.
Yeah.
Like it's an excuse.
So all that was stupid.
You knew that was going to. I knew that was going to happen. I didn't know what was going to set them off, but you just knew that there was tons of people.
So all that was stupid. And again, I'd like to circle back to the point I was trying to make earlier, which is that, I thought that Kingpin was going to be built up to as a villain, because the way that I pictured it was that now that he is Mayor Fisk, you can have seasons where he is the mayor, and, it's like, how interesting would that be that, like, he's the mayor in the background while all this bad stuff is happening, and you have all these characters and stories. Safi, don't do that. And then another thing I thought was that, okay, the Punisher, he's going to have his own show, so that'll be about the Punisher inside this Mayor Fisk, New York. But I guess he's not going to be mayor when the Punisher show comes out. So it's going to be the Punisher just doing whatever, and it's not even connected to this. And then I thought the crown on top of that would be Spider-Man. Spider-Man being in New York while Kingpin is mayor. For some reason, they're not legally allowed to have Kingpin in a movie with Spider-Man as of now, which is fucking retarded. But they could still connect it. There's no connection. There's no cohesiveness in this Marvel universe. They could have connected all of that just by having Mayor Fisk as the mayor. Just by having him as the mayor, they could have connected all these characters and have it be this really interesting, like, okay, well, he's the mayor now this whole time in the background, and then in a later season, he comes back around, he's the main bad guy again. But no, they have rushed because they suck and because modern TV shows don't know how to have patience anymore, and they have rushed it to be where, oh, Kingpin's the main bad guy again. Surprise. And so Daredevil walks into the room. You gonna stop, Safi? Daredevil walks into the room with Kingpin sitting there in front of the snowstorm painting, and he approaches Kingpin, and they recreated a couple of shots from the comics, so a lot of fanboys said that the show was good because of that. And it's like, yeah, I guess you could say it's good if you're a fan of the comics and you don't have good taste in television and movies. But anyways, he tries to be nice with Kingpin and just say, like, I'm sorry about what happened with Vanessa, which we don't even know what happened with her because the writers can't handle it. We don't even know how she died, one of the main characters on the show. And Kingpin, instead of, like, trying to be amenable and try to be diplomatic as well, he gets angry and he starts fighting, and they have a little battle, and they both exchange a few blows, and Daredevil wins. But then Kingpin says, you can't arrest me and you can't kill me, so what are you even gonna do? And Daredevil just runs away.
Yes, he just leaves.
Well, what'd you think of that whole sequence, Safi?
I don't know. It's funny because I didn't even think about that the Kingpin had not spoken to anybody.
Yeah.
The entire episode.
Yeah.
He didn't speak at all. But he does speak to Daredevil.
Yeah.
He goes, I knew you would show up, Matthew Murdock. He doesn't even call him Daredevil. He calls him by his real name. And I thought, for a little bit, well, maybe Buck was going to show up and then he was going to shoot Daredevil or something. that he was long gone. Which is funny, because he seems to show up at all kinds of other inopportune times.
Yeah, there's lots of plot conveniences on this show. So what did you think of that sequence? You didn't answer the question.
I don't know.
You don't know what you thought?
I don't know what it was supposed to be about.
You don't know?
I don't know what the purpose of it. Actually, I'm as befuddled as the mayor. Like, you can't kill me, you won't arrest me, so what are you doing? I agree. What was he doing? I don't know.
I would go so far as to say that I'm more on Kingpin's side than anyone's right now.
The thing is, vengeance, whatever I said, what he said to Karen about vengeance, isn't justice or something. That's the only thing that he is practicing what he preaches. That's the only thing I can think of.
Yeah.
And so he just walks away because he can't arrest him, so he can't bring him to justice. So is he going to be brought to justice?
No, probably not.
And how would that happen? Because you've got these.
Because they confirmed that he'll be in season 3.
Well, yeah, but as what?
I don't know.
And the thing is, you've got this horrible ICE agent who really he is like. I mean, you have all these
Isn't
other
that kind
ones,
of
but he's
Safi?
He is a really. I mean, he's almost like a robot.
But Safi,
it's like a Terminator.
Isn't that kind of an oxymoron?
I don't know.
A horrible ICE agent? Isn't not all of them are horrible?
No, I don't think they're following orders. Which
that's what the Nazis said too.
That's right.
And it wasn't an acceptable defense, and they all got executed anyways.
But that's it's like sometimes history repeats itself.
And the ICE agents on Daredevil, they can't use that as an excuse.
But I mean, I'm just telling you, they may not be able to use that as an excuse, which is true, but you're seeing what's happening there. That I mean, he makes up a lie and says that those people killed that young boy, and those other ICE agents probably know that one, and they don't know what he did, and he doesn't tell them.
Yeah. And
so they're not, and then so they're upset. They go, oh my God, somebody in the crowd killed that one of our own, and he wasn't doing anything but just keeping people off the perimeter. And he's a trouble. He's evil.
Well,
he's like, it's just really weird. He's kind of like a Stephen Miller, but he's
no, Safi, don't do that. Don't do that.
He's like a
don't do that. Don't do that.
Well, he's a Terminator.
Don't do that.
He's almost like a robot. Because so it was fun. Well, like you said, I didn't know Jessica Jones had powers. But when she tried to hit him, I just thought, well, that's because he's so mean and tough. But I guess if she did have the powers,
I just thought he was so mean and
tough.
Well,
he is. He's like real. He's like really. He's a good fighter.
He's a tough guy.
He's a killer. He doesn't have any conscience. And but then I find out she has powers. So if she had those powers, she would have been able to, knock him over or something.
Anyways, I'm on Kingpin's side now because because his wife just died, and
that's what it doesn't. That's the thing. It doesn't make any sense.
I'm 100% on Kingpin's side.
The protest at that time does not make any sense.
But
you know what? It started out though. People were putting flowers, and like when somebody dies, they were putting memorials on the steps of the place.
This is where things conflict, because they're saying they had to do an exposition line where they said that people are really upset about the mayor and the ICE agents and the concentration camps, and so that's why they're protesting. They're protesting because of the ICE agents. But that's not the main focus of the season. It doesn't connect. It feels like it's not earned.
That's why I say they're following too much about reality, and they shouldn't be. It's a TV show, and they have comic books that they look at for their storylines.
It's also just not earned because we've only had like a couple of episodes, and now there's this big protest. It's like, who would believe that?
Yeah, I know. That's why I'm saying that they should have saved that
for another season,
episode, or
another season.
I don't know, but it was misplaced because it started out as a memorial. All these people were putting flowers, and that made a lot of sense because she didn't do anything.
Oh.
They don't know what she did do.
They don't know.
They didn't see her putting. Her image was not like her husband's. Let me put it that way. Yeah. We know she did stuff, but they don't know that. They've never seen her in context of anything they were talking about. They've only seen her like show up at a ball or at a dinner or, on the news holding his hand or, so they were doing a memorial, and all of a sudden it changes to this gigantic protest. And when they did something too, when they started this protest, they put masks over their faces. So that was like a signal. And then it got really dark. I mean, it was night, and then they started doing those projection things, and I don't know. It was like I said, it was like that game Pong, and bing bong, bing bong, bing, back and forth between, and at the end Karen gets arrested. So, and that's a gigantic cliffhanger. Is that bad agent gonna just murder her?
No, and as I said, she's confirmed for season 3 as well. By the way.
Oh, so, she is. Okay, I'm glad she's not getting murdered because I'm like.
As I said, I am 100% on Kingpin's side now. Because it's funny, at the beginning of the season, Daredevil and Karen were facing astronomical odds. Yeah. And they were underdogs, and it was like, how the hell are they even going to do anything this season, like, let alone touch Kingpin? And that's what I was saying about how that this was not properly built up to, because it didn't feel properly earned. But now, Kingpin is the underdog.
Yeah, big time.
And so that's why I'm on Kingpin's side now. I don't care if he's evil. It's a TV show.
He's just, he's just saying this because he's playing that character in this fan. I'm just kidding. I don't really care. I just, it's a shame.
No, in the fan film, my character's definitely bad.
It's a shame because this show's supposed to be about Daredevil.
Yeah.
And
it's a Kingpin show.
It's like he's one of the...
he's a side character on his own show.
On his own show, I don't get that.
So that's weird. So I would give this episode an F. I did like some things about it. I did like Matt and Kingpin talking to each other, because I think that, they have great chemistry as actors, and I like seeing the actor who plays Daniel. I think he's really good, but I didn't like anything else, so I give it an F.
Well, I'll give it a C. I like seeing Jessica Jones, because I've never seen her before. I don't think she belonged in the episode, because I don't know what they're doing. Marco's been reading about all this thing about these characters are going to be brought in. It's like it's kind of like they're building up the universe.
Well, this is why, because she's going to have to help him get Karen out where she is, probably.
Maybe.
That's what I predict.
Well, I'd rather see her than that other one, and I did not like her at all.
What other one? Heather?
No, the other one.
The other one.
That I stopped watching.
Oh, Elektra?
Yeah.
But she's a villain.
But she...
Or an anti-hero. I don't know what she is, actually.
She's probably like Bullseye.
But you liked her. You liked the cleaning lady. Safi, guys, if you don't know, Elektra was on the show called The Cleaning Lady. It was some kind of...
I didn't like that show.
Action spy show. And Safi...
It wasn't that good.
Safi got so excited to start watching it, and she stopped watching it because she thought the show was going to be about an actual cleaning lady.
Well, that's because I read this book series where the people would be crime scene cleanup people, and they would solve mysteries, and it's really, and then you would find out about what that would be like to clean up a crime scene. It was just really, it was informative. So and they were written pretty well.
I wouldn't have any issue doing that.
Oh, I don't know. You'd have to read one. Oh God.
I wouldn't have any issue.
Think about that. Ugh.
I mean, I would have to have some kind of like.
There'd be so many. And
I would have to have
child involved, and
well,
oh God.
It wouldn't bother me. All that I would ask for is just guaranteed therapy.
Oh, well, there's. No, but anyway, enough of that. But I just. I don't understand the rationale for one thing, having Daredevil as a side character. The thing is, Marco's right. When they showed him and Kingpin, though, they're kind of like the main stars of the season.
Yeah.
Or they're supposed to be. But then you have all this other stuff.
And it takes over it.
Yeah. And that actually becomes a minor thing. It didn't last that long.
Yeah.
And then you have this fan service thing, which is bizarre. But of course, Jessica. Marco says that maybe she'll have a place because when they brought her in after what happened with her,
she just walks in.
She just walks, and he says they talked about him contacting her, but we never saw that. Sorry. And anyway, I don't know. It was very I don't know how to except it reminded me of that game called Pong, where it just bounced from place to place to place to place to place, character to character to character. You go to Daniel's house. It's his birthday. His mom does some kind of weird thing where you take a pill for every kind of vitamin or something, and I think she sells the kit to people like those things like Pamper Chef products and Avon, where they would have these home parties and you invite people in and then you try to sell them the stuff, and so she sold that BB.
I thought it was color. I thought it was colors.
I don't
because
I don't know.
Color therapy is proven.
I don't know. I don't know what that was all about. That went beyond my comprehension. But
it is on my it is on my plan.
I don't like Daniel. I know Marco thinks he's the greatest thing on earth.
No, he's not the greatest, but he's a great character.
I don't like him. But anyway, it's true that what Duke said, even though Duke is evil.
Duke? Who's Duke?
Is it Duke? What's his name? Buck. Oh, for God's sake. I keep calling him Duke. I think it's because he has a British accent.
He's Duke.
He's right. That Daniel is clouded. His judgment is clouded about that woman. And that woman was using him. But I mean, it's changed now. But he doesn't know it yet. Well, what happened was he confronted her about this thing he found in her pocket.
Safi, we already talked about that. We're not going through that again.
What happened was, what interrupted that
we
was they saw the big protest on the TV.
Oh, okay.
And then you...
Yeah.
So we don't know what happens. That really kind of hung in the air.
Well, that's another cliffhanger. And there was one other thing I was going to say.
But he doesn't seem like, even though he's a weakling, which I can't stand him, he doesn't seem like the type he would want to kill anybody. Like, he's not like Buck. I don't think he has that kind of mean personality. So, I don't know what's going to happen, but that would be, like you said, that's like another cliffhanger with BB. Because she was just as shocked as he was. They were both shocked because they saw that projections on the wall and the ICE agents standing there confronting him with their guns and their batons.
Oh, yeah. So this is what I was going to say, because Safi made me forget. Safi, as you guys can see, she is way too involved in political propaganda. And so, but it's pretty interesting because even Safi thinks that the show is taking from real life too much.
It is. I don't want to see it. I see it enough on the news.
So, but that's funny because usually a lot of these people like Safi, they think it's really intelligent and they think it's genius writing that like, they're making it like a real life.
They're just borrowing.
And you didn't even notice, Safi. You didn't even say anything at Daniel's mom's house. She had a Fisk flag out front, and they made it look like a Trump flag.
I didn't see it.
They made it look exactly like a Trump flag.
Oh,
and it's like, why are they doing this? This is not the characters. This doesn't have anything to do with Marvel. This is just these stupid writers.
They're copying.
Yeah.
At least they didn't do the DoorDash thing. That really made me mad.
Well, they wrote this and shot it a year ago, so they couldn't do that.
Oh, of course they would. Yeah, you're right. We're DoorDashers, So
I wouldn't say that on camera.
Why not?
Okay, we're DoorDashers, and so anyways, that's about it.
Yeah,
so
nothing else.
Please like, comment, and subscribe, and then please check out our Patreon so that we can continue making more videos like this. There's tons of awesome stuff on there. And some bad stuff, probably. It's all up to your opinion. And so...
You can see Marco's movie. And I'm not being biased. It's pretty good. He does some really good, effective things. And it's interesting that somebody who has very little money to do it can do really pretty good special effects.
I think what's really cool
I really liked it.
is I made a mummy. I made my own mummy without even any preparation or testing. And so that's pretty incredible. And I'd like to point that out because there was a mummy movie that just came out.
Yeah, I saw that.
It looks retarded. And the girl, there's like a girl mummy. She doesn't look anything like the mummy. And like, who wants that?
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. And this is... These people get all this money to make these movies, and they're crap.
Yeah.
And it's to me, it's like unethical, and it's also a waste of money.
It's embarrassing. It's really embarrassing.
And also apparently, some people, and we won't say anything more about the details of that, they're very disorganized. And so, my God,
Safi, those people haven't made anything before.
I know that, but these people who are making movies for real get all this money. The people who are funding them, they're not getting their money's worth, and neither are the people.
I know.
Neither is the audience watching the movie.
I know, and so you'll get your money's worth though if you check out my short movie because. Well, I think I made this mummy for like under $50, and it looks better than any mummy that's been on movies for like 20 years, 20 plus years.
And back in the 30s, because they celebrate these movies, they have the Man of 1,000. Was it a Man of 1,000 Faces?
That's Lon Chaney, Safi.
The Lon Chaney, he did all of his own makeup.
Yeah.
He did that all himself.
And that's because back then, actors were expected to do their own makeup.
Yeah. But the point is, they created a lot with not a lot.
Yeah.
Because they used their heads and were creative.
And that's what I did with County Fear.
And there's a black and white version and a color version.
It's a lot better than Daredevil, honestly. So, not the old show, but this show, the Born Again show.
I don't know what it is. I just wish they quit copying. For God's sakes, come on.
Daredevil trash again. So, I guess that's it.
That's it. Goodbye.
Bye.